Thank you, Chairman, sir. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My presentation will be the importance of geospatial technology in e-governance and disaster management. I am basically a military cartographer, and recently I completed my MBA in disaster management, so I thought the combination will help me in giving something and on my favorite topic of geospatial technology. But before I touch upon that subject, let me introduce how the geospatial technology was uh, in place in the country. The geospatial technology in the country, it started with the creation of Survey of India, which is the oldest scientific organization established in 1767. So when the Britishers came, so there was nothing called a map, and what was available was the vivid or the rough sketches which was prepared by the various travelers. But as you know, as a human being, we are more interested to know about our Mother Earth, and the governance or whatever you say, it is based on their location. Even the king, they wanted to add more and more villages and more areas. Similarly, the Britishers, they wanted to know what is the country. For governance, they want to earn revenue and for other things. So the terrain or the geospatial thing was the most important factor. So during Clive Lloyd, this mapping started 245 years ago, and at the time of independence, the entire country was mapped on 1:50,000 scale. Subsequently, the maps got metricated, but before independence, basically the maps were used by the defense, not much used for the real governance for the civil society. But after independence, the need for the governance became very important for your developmental planning, city urban planning, for disaster management, for your uh, for establishment of industry and many other things. So the government policies also got modified. So SS was given to the public, SS was given to the other civil government organization, non-government organization, through various policies with various methodologies, which was earlier not available during the British time. Now, the technology has moved really very fast with the digital technology. The geospatial products have also increased. From a normal paper map or a thematic map, we have got something called digital topographical database. So entire topographical data, it can be put in a digital format. We can create a digital elevation model, digital terrain model. Then the space technology also added the satellite images, the aerial photographs. And then we got the latest GIS hardwares and tools, which could create very fascinating applications, very suitable for governance. Just for your example, very recently, we created the 3D GIS for the Delhi government, which is very popularly known as the Delhi Special Data Infrastructure, which we created. My Survey of India created for that. And more cities are going to be covered in future. Every day, the technology is advancing, and as a result, we have got the facility of doing the utility mapping also, which can be added to that using ground penetrating radar. So in particularly in the Delhi mapping project, we utilize this technology, and which was very successful. So there is another project called National Urban Information System, in which will also be creating high resolution maps with a lot of value added information. Now, I just give you a brief background about what kind of geospatial products are available and what is the geospatial data. Now, I come back to the disaster and how both are related. Particularly in our country, we are prone to so many types of disasters: flood, earthquake, tsunami, you name any disaster which is present in our country. So it does occur now and then. Now, we have suffered a lot both economically and casualty wise. And the real solution to manage the disaster lies with the effective utilization of geospatial technology. There are various organizations and there is abundance of geospatial data like Survey of India, Forest Survey of India, NATMO, Census, Central Water Commission, Groundwater Board, Department of Space, and so many organizations, National Hydrographic Office. And all this data can be taken as an input for our geospatial technology. And some of the important applications are your geographic information system, the remote sensing application systems, and the ground positioning systems. Now, here if you see, all these data we can build once and use many times. That means once we have got the base data, subsequently we just need to know what is the change detection, what changes has taken place, pre-disaster and post-disaster. Just to repeat or revise those who do not understand what is GIS technology, it's nothing but the entire geospatial data which is stored or captured in a system, in a computer system, which is geographically or spatially referenced. The data is stored there, retrieved, and it is managed for various applications. The beauty of this GIS is that it integrates satellite images, aerial photographs, UAV data, ground field data, map data, area analysis study, etc. So that means it helps us in understanding the problem, analyzing the problem, and then giving us a solution or an idea how to do that. So these are some of the GIS applications which can be utilized other than your normal, in e-governance as well as in disaster management, fire, police, emergency services, finance, building, utilities. So there are many applications. Using the GIS tool, also we can simulate the 3D situation or the 3D modeling of your terrain, and we can create a visualization which in governance parlance we also so many times call the common operational scenario or common picture. So we can generate a common picture so that the different wings of the government can see the same picture or same scenario. Further, it can also be effectively utilized in training, creating various simulations and modeling. The technology further provides integration over an enterprise. That means the photogrammetry, 3D visualization, and everything it can be integrated as an enterprise solution so that the enterprise architecture gives you facilities like whether if you want map service, if you want feature service, or you want any data management application and things like that. So the users have got a choice in that. The advantage of this geospatial integration is that we can integrate the meteorological data, the soil survey data, the geological data into in a common with respect to their location. And that becomes very effective in governance and disaster management. So basically for this, we need to create a geospatial infrastructure. Right now, we have got some organizations have been created, like we have got the national level, we have got the National Spatial Data Infrastructure, but it is basically helps in policy formulation. But we need to create a geospatial infrastructure in which all the geospatial data producing agencies, they contribute. And there need to be one organization who should have the absolute power to hold on to the data and develop applications for various user groups. Similarly, the technology has advanced in giving us high resolution images. This particular slide, if you see why we require high resolution images, as the resolution increases, the information content is more. Combination of different sensors and technology is utilized for your urban planning. Like here, this particular slide, it shows how the airborne laser scanner and digital camera together can create a 3D model of a city. This is another slide which gives a similar indication about the urban planning. Here, these are the same kind of applications for modeling of the towns and cities. So different sensors, different platforms, and we have got technology where the data can be fused together. It gives you the enhanced information or enhanced quality of the information. This is another thing, using the same technology, we can do the hydrographic simulation, basically for flood estimation, or which are the areas which are likely to be inundated during a flood. So we can create a flood management system using geospatial technology in a GIS environment, using input like maps, images, and things, and other ground-based information. Now, if you see here, in a disaster scenario, we need to acquire a lot of geospatial data from various platforms, the aerial camera, the UAV, and from various sources. But all these, we need to put in a spatial data infrastructure so that the change detection is on real time. We need to know what are the changes taking place so that disaster managers, they can assess the situation. My basic idea was to give you an insight how effective is the geospatial technology, and my presentation was just an overview of that, and how effective is the geospatial technology in governance and particularly in disaster management. But however, every technology will always have some hiccups. Like you buy a car, so it's not that that is the end of your problem, because the car may develop some problems. So, and you need to take the car to service center periodically. You need to do many other things. Similarly, if you really have to be, apply the geospatial technology for effective governance and disaster management, then we need to change the policies, modify the policy in tune with the time. Although the government has been doing it, but in a democracy, the policy changes is slower than the technology. Technology moves much faster. So it has to be done in a mission mode, as a mission mode project. And particularly when the space technology is advancing at a much faster pace, we are getting, every day we are getting higher and higher resolution data, and data acquired from different sensors. So integration of the data fusion, and then data standards, data content. So there are many issues, technological issues. The technocrats have to take care of that. The bureaucrats have to take care of the policies. And the geospatial industry, particularly, they have to be Indianized. Most of the geospatial products or equipments are imported. So the moment you import things, you don't have full control over that. So our Indianization process needs to be taken care of by the geospatial industry with the support of effective government policies. And at the same time, the teachers, the universities have got a major role to, to produce more and more geospatial experts or geospatial scientists. Because as of now, the infrastructure available for this is quite limited. So basically what I suggest is that it has to be a joint effort with the National Mapping Organization, industry, the data producers, the researchers, academia, universities, so that we can have a very effective geospatial tools, applications for effective governance, disaster management. Thank you.